Oops. Hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger. Now, of course, we all know that by the end of February 2022, Skylanders Ring of Heroes is going to be officially shut down. In fact, this was the last big update it had. It was on 18th November 2021, the last extension to the evolution stages, where you can upgrade your Skylanders to level 144 and increase the entry limit of Black Dimensions and Awakening Dimension investigations to 20 times per day. Increase to the Dark Subjection entry limit to 6 times per day. Which basically means you get to go to the Black Dimension and you get to battle against the dark villains to get some elemental evolutionary boosts for your Skylanders, and in the Awakened Dimension you get these awakening balls to awaken your Skylander to become like morphed into a brand new being. You know, kind of like Beast Wars, where the Maximals and Predacons, due to the quantum surge, they all transform into Transmetals. Something like that. Or the Bionicles with the Toamata after they like defeat Makuta or the Borak Swarm and the Borak Queens, they become the Toa Nuva. Anyways, that's not what I'm here. That's not what I'm talking about, because and some of you, now to most of you, it is still pretty sad that Come to Us is about to let go of Skylanders Ring of Heroes. It seems like they got too much on their plate, like Summoner Wars or something. Actually, nowadays, thanks to a post from a fellow Portal friend of mine, or a Portal master on Facebook, it seems that maybe Skylanders has dodged a bullet, because it could have been something that many of us would have absolutely hated. So I went to Come to Us to see the site myself, and apparently on this post from November 30th, 2021, it says here that Game Evil rebrands globally as Come to Us Holdings to build future of blockchain gaming. And say something about blockchain. So I'm going to try and read as much as I can up to here. So Seoul Korea is announced a reorganization or rebranding of a company with the global subsidiaries. I'm not good with pronouncing words. Up to a new name, Come to Us Holdings, with a central focus on building the future of blockchain gaming. Come to Us holds subsidiaries which become Come to Us Platform, Come to Us Plus, Come to Us USA, and Come to Us Japan, and will each provide a pivotal role on accelerating the creation of proprietary blockchain ecosystem under the Come to Us brand. And it also says here, Come to Us Holdings and its subsidiaries of rapidly expanding strategic partnerships, investments in research and in blockchain, non-fundable tokens, and the metaverse technology. Earlier this year, Come to Us made strategic acquisitions of a series of broadcasting media and production companies, including MediaCan, Subject Studio, blah blah blah, expanding its ability to create a distributed intellectual property. Coming to companies, the Jungle Studios. The company also established Jungle Studios, the content production company, and Come to Us Roka, the virtual reality video game developer studio. In the last month, Come to Us has invested in a series of changes related to business in them. Brands can told the Sand, Upland, and Mythical Games the future support of its vision saying blockchain ecosystem. Saying they will continue to develop games with NFT and play, say, like Summoner Wars and Summoners something. Basically, knowing that Come to Us is going through a blockchain thing and is part of the NFT, wants to go with the whole NFT thing. I'm thinking maybe it was a good call that Come to Us is letting go of Skylanders, because imagine if Skylanders was made today. We probably wouldn't have these figures now, would we? We wouldn't have Trigger Happy. You see, I tried to get the others, but they're packed away, so I could only use Double Dare Trigger Happy. If it was made today, we probably wouldn't use figures. We probably have the Skylanders would probably be NFTs. Now, I don't personally fully understand NFTs. They're called non-fungible tokens. It's like, as far as I'm aware, now the simplest I got is like something that cannot be replaced. You cannot change it for anything. Like when it comes to $1, if you're losing that dollar, you can always replace it with another dollar. But a non-fungible token, one, you can't replace it in any way. And some people, they use this NFTs, and they use NFTs like to buy some digital to buy digital stuff, like see. Now I don't fully understand what a blockchain is. I mean, according to this is again, I'm not the biggest. I don't have the biggest knowledge on the economy or something like that. I'm just. I could be wrong, and you can correct me on some things, but. So this is what I got from the transaction, which is like an action or something about buying or spending online, something like that. See, this is how a blockchain works. Transaction is requested, transaction is created, the block is created, the block is sent to every node, advanced acid, reward proof of work, blockchains, something, and transaction is complete. And there was a video I remember seeing to show how blockchains works in the simplest way. It's like emailing a letter to Santa Claus. This kid wants a cat for Christmas, but his parents say no. So he writes a letter to Santa that he wants a cat for Christmas. But he's too young to go to the post office. So he asks his father to deliver it for him. His father then secretly rubs off the cat, and he replaces it with a pair of socks. And for Christmas, the kid got a pair of socks. So next Christmas, the kid decided to email his cat request to Santa through a blockchain. And through a blockchain, it is sent to what was connecting to Santa's workshop, as well as his parents. There's a copy of his letter to Santa, to the elves, to even his parents, and nobody quite knows for sure who does it belong to. Who holds the original letter? But the parents actually know, so they try to modify it and replace it with another item. But because they're all copied, and the computing system was able to detect that one of them is changed, and they override it. And in the end, the kid gets a cat in the end, because Santa managed to get the one unedited, let's say. That's basically the simplest way I could describe a blockchain. And as for NFTs, I'm not sure how they work functionally, but I am aware that they cause a bit of a problem on two occasions. One, they're a huge scam. A lot of people scam people into buying NFTs. These arithmetum whatever things. They're like, one of them is like worth thousands of dollars, and people often use it to spend on something like these very cringy looking apes, these very ugly looking apes. And for me, I say, why bother buying these apes? I can just just screenshot them. I can just right click and save them on my computer. I can Heck, I can even draw my own version of a Bored Ape. In fact, I did one. See? This is my Bored Ape. I did not buy a Bored Ape NFT. I just drew one myself. In fact, I can draw as many versions of a Bored Ape in my style as much as possible. And I can still get more enjoyment from that than having to spend millions or thousands of dollars on just these pictures. I don't get why people, funny enough, if Ed, Edd n Eddy was made today, they'd probably be using NFTs on this as a scam. Another reason why a lot of people hate NFTs is that they cause a bit of a bad impact on the environment. They say because it requires a lot of computing power for scanning and data mining and checking and transitioning, blockchaining and something like that, it's causing the electrical power plants to work even hard and resulting to greenhouse gases. It's something like that. I actually got a bit of that from the Ed's World episode, Climate Change. I mean, that's what I've heard. Some say that there are eco-friendly NFTs. He's like, Miss Tara Strong, who you may know as the voice of Twilight Sparkle, Timmy Turner, Ben 10, Bubbles, as well as Splashwing and Skylanders. She's also involved in the NFT thing. I mean, she's making a movie that's funded by NFTs and she's directing it. But unfortunately, a lot of people say otherwise. They say, no, NFTs are not eco-friendly, despite what they say. And, sorry, itchy nose. Tara is... And people are now saying that Tara Strong is becoming the new Butch Hartman. She thought these people who are trying to reason with her and why she should get out of these NFT business is because she thinks that they're all bully comments. They think they're just people. And keep in mind, this is a woman who's a supporter for PETA, the company that's wants to try and force people to be as vegan as possible. Well, if you keep a dog or a cat, they cannot be vegan. They have to eat meat because they're all descendant from predatory animals, right? I mean, they're barely omnivorous. I mean, just look at the Good Family, for instance. They try to be they're mostly vegan, but they keep a dog, and the dog is hungry for meat. And it's made by the same guys who made A King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead. And another thing with NFT monkeys, I mean, you spend thousands or millions of dollars on a digital piece of work. What the heck do you do with it? You just stare at it? What the heck do you do with it? I mean, look at this figure. I mean, yeah, sure, the Skylanders. Now, some people have said in the past that those who don't like Skylanders, they have to say that the figures are quite worthless. Actually, they can be a bit more of a worth than you think. There are many things you can do with a figure of Skylanders. If you have Skylanders games like I do, you can have this portal, you can place them, they connect to the game, you get to play as them. Or you don't have to, you can just play them like a regular figure. Or you can paint them, or you can do other things like... that's good stuff. Sorry, Trig.
You are sick. You know that.
But what can you do with an NFT other than just staring at it? Again, I don't fully know what an NFT does, but I do not want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of the NFT thing. In fact, almost every artist and animator and around the world hates NFTs. I think the only time I actually remembered somebody using an NFT for good was probably in let me look this up. There was this Malaysian Indian. So according to I think this is the only time I actually heard one NFT used for good. Right. Um, this artist was discriminated in Malaysia and it makes 150 million ringgit from NFTs, Snoop Dogg among buyers. I say nobody has I say so. Malaysian artists have been getting out of act with me. So a Malaysian artist by the name of Visitra Manikan has emerged as one of the top-selling artists in the crypto-based non-fungible token marketing OpenSea. She verified stylized on visual artists, but has been struggling to break into a local art scene, which she says is due to discrimination that Indian artists face here. Very few she once said this: very few Malaysian Indian artists get opportunities to top Malaysian art galleries, nor in government-funded exhibitions. Been in shows where the token Indian. Between January and September, there's like top 9 galleries. Only 6 shows may feature Malaysian Indian artists. When I brought this up, I was told my art wasn't good enough. I was too Indian. However, at the same time, I see those who cultural appropriate our art and cultural exhibition with these galleries. Now, if you look at them, they look pretty. They don't look bad. They look very surreal, let's say, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of what was it? Bill Cipher or Sauron. Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls or Sauron from Lord of the Rings. A lot of eyes, let's say. She sold her art as NFTs for millions, and I will say the arts are quite surreal and they do look rather visually odd and stuff. And they are one of a kind. That's why they're like non-fungible. Let's say non-fungible tokens are like a piece of art that can't be exchanged, like Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa or Salvatore Mundi. They can be duplicated anywhere or on. They can be replicated digitally, but they can never be duplicated the same way Leonardo da Vinci did. They're very old, like 1500s paintings and the oils and canvases. There's no way you can actually recreate it. Another example is let me see if I got this. Sorry, let me just. You see this painting over there? That one over there is basically a digital copy of an original art by Gustav Klimt. It's called Mother and Child. And actually, that's not the official title. It's the original title is called The 3 Ages of a Woman. It's actually a bigger art piece. It's currently somewhere in Rome, and it's a bigger picture compared to this one. Now I'm not sure this picture is actually allowed to be shown because it has well, let's just say something rescuers had before it had to be edited. There's a window scene that had to be edited. So I'm reducing the image so I hope it doesn't affect YouTube's guidelines. Anyways, but even then you can do some things with a painting. You can modify it a bit, kind of like how George Lucas modified his Star Wars movie. They weren't the best. They weren't the best thing. It wasn't the wisest decision, but at least it's something he could do. You can modify the painting. You can paint it any way you want. And you can just put a smiley face on it digitally. You can delete it or whatever. What exactly can you do with an NFT? Hey, you just stare at it? Can you edit it or something? I'm not sure. You just spend thousands of dollars on it. Oh, by the way, this thing was like $475 million. And personally, I find that more impressive and more fair than these NFTs. So, I mean, look at these. They look awful. They look really they don't look appealing, and this one is even worse. Ugh. Yeah. So, yeah, now because Come to Us is going to go in the NFT market, I'm actually kind of, in a sense, that I am actually kind of glad that they're letting go of Skylanders. Maybe that lawsuit couldn't happen with Activision couldn't happen at a better time. I mean, imagine if we had to have Skylanders as NFTs. Imagine how, I mean, people would, I mean, a lot of people who were classic Spyro fans, they didn't like Skylanders because of the not only because of Spyro, then they also said they didn't like the figures that you have to spend in order to buy the characters in order to play as them and stuff like that. But that's another thing. But that's the thing. I mean, with Skylanders, you can reuse characters for future games. With I don't have the regular Trigger Happy with me, but let's just say I'm able to play. If I have a Trigger Happy figure, I'm able to play as him in all 6 games. He's kept backwards compatible. He's forward compatible. He's playable in every single game. I can reuse that game for future games. And downloadable content, on the other hand, is only specific for one game. And if you have it, that's great. You're able to play that game for years and years with that content. But if that content is online thing, I guarantee that if the online servers for that game are closed, you may no longer be able to use that downloadable character anymore because it was online exclusive. But if your DLC had the character offline, it allows you to play the character offline after you download it. You can still play it for years and years. With Skylanders, you can play the games offline. They don't really need online content. You can use them for locally, or you can use them locally. And heck, you can do anything. So you can play as them as actual figures. You can paint them. You can even cut off their tongue.
I have to say like this. Who does say like this?
So yeah, again, with what's come to us is going to. I'm actually kind of glad that Ring of Heroes is perhaps getting the axe, and Come to Us is cutting ties with Activision. I wonder if Activision might have other ideas for blockchain and or NFTs. Also, another thing is that Steam is bans games that use the NFT or blockchain system. Now, that is something. I'm never going to go with NFTs. I'm not going to use any of my arts for NFTs. I rather have people give me the cheapest commissions, like when I use Patreon or when I use a YouTube channel. They can donate any amount of money they want for me to do a drawing. And in fact, on Patreon, I get more opportunities to draw a variety of things. NFTs, they're kind of fixed, and they're auto-generated the images, and it's just not fun. Again, I'm not interested in doing this, so let me know in the comments if you think this is a wise decision for Come to Us to actually let go of Skylanders Ring of Heroes because they're doing something else drastic and controversial, and Skylanders may have dodged a bullet. Let me know what you think about this. Hope you enjoyed this video.